Yeah, I can hear you, but you're faint.
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't think your headset's hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I see Tayllor.
That's it.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Okay.
Is the background noise too loud?
I hear nothing.
All right.
Oh, chatters, are you there?
I see 8-bit burn.
They're probably like, who's that guy?
It's a cool new friend, bruh.
I got my lizard over here. I'm watching him just to make sure he doesn't do anything dumb.
Whoa.
I may have to drain mine, but I don't know what he's doing. No. Sorry, it's just crude. I'm sorry.
Drain the main vein.
All right.
Everybody's tagging me with this damn the end cocktail in Georgia.
Are they trying to make you?
sold...
Oh yeah.
You just sold one?
Yeah, no, it wasn't complete or anything like that. It didn't have a board, but too many projects.
I have
This
a
is
the end cocktail in my garage right now.
It's complete. It's in great shape. Although it's funny, the stern sticker is on upside down, which is hilarious.
1 million.
That is pretty funny, but it's really nice. It's complete, works. $8.50.
How's the wear on the panel? Because when I got mine, the wear was pretty noticeable.
Looks pretty good.
Nice.
Welcome Metropolis to the chat.
All right.
8-bit
Whoa.
burn, drab chat.
We hop on Twitch here.
Biley Fit 1971. What is that?
Can we see that? It's too far out of focus.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. I'm monitoring the price of Bitcoin. I'm not drunk yet. I'm monitoring the price of Bitcoin. So right now we're at 31,000.
Oh, yeah. You need to cash in on that.
You always say that. I'm not cashing until it hits 100.
You have Bitcoin?
Yeah, in 2012, I mined Bitcoin for the hell of it.
For the hell of it.
I mean, I wanted to learn the software and get a laptop and I wanted to put it outside, and I did during the Midwest negative 20-degree freeze to see if I could overclock it. Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
But I only I think I got 3 Bitcoin total, and then after that I was like, okay, I'm done, and I turned everything off, and then I just let it ride.
It's a good retirement.
Supposedly,
Not bad.
Well, until it crashes.
Yeah, don't want that to happen.
There was a
That's
tech
what they keep
out.
saying about the housing market for people like me. I'm like, yeah, it might happen, but probably won't.
You were saying, Bryan?
So there was a tech out in Colorado. I think I mentioned her before that back around the same time, bought $10,000 of Bitcoin. She's like, let's just try this. And during COVID, when it was flying all over the place, she was actually trading it in when it went high, selling it when high, buying it when it went low. I mean, it just on and on. So
crazy.
Oh, we've got good stuff to talk about tonight.
Nice.
It's always good.
Lots of stuff. Lots of arcade stuff.
Always things happening.
Yeah.
I swear, though, I don't want to give away anything in the news, but does Atari just make sure something happens every 2 weeks, no matter what? Am I just imagining?
No, I think that's Wade's plan. And actually, I know a guy he can inform you on that stuff. And
Wade himself?
well, not him per se, but we know people. We're connected.
I don't think I'm allowed to talk about the latest news we have.
Oh, is it NDA or like what's?
Yeah,
Oh man,
I know.
is it your own NDA?
I wasn't gonna mention your name, Brian. I was just saying we know people.
Oh yeah.
We know lots of people.
I knew a guy who knew a guy.
You saw
I got
Ferris-
people. I got people.
This guy's sister.
I saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night. I guess
Say
it's pretty serious.
Ferris.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. I will say, like, one of the things Atari has done is when we like these new boards we're doing, like they want to launch. They don't want to just put them up on the site. Every 2 we come out with, they want to do a formal press release launch. Like they're not just actually want to make something out of it, which is nice.
Nice.
That's called PR.
I know. I don't know how to do that.
I could fake it.
Fake it till you make it.
I can post a TikTok about something and see if that'll work.
Oh my gosh.
Do a lot of people in the arcade hobby use TikTok? Okay.
Are you on the TikTok?
No, I'm sorry.
I use TikTok. I don't TikTok.
I'm not gonna be smug. I'm not gonna be a Chad. I'm just gonna say
What's a Chad?
like a broski kind of, like a guy that's kind of showing off.
You have like Adam told me you have like 1 million subscribers, right?
267.
See, that's.
I mean, you could say 250,000, but
that's
yeah.
good. That's really
Quarter
good.
I mean, there's no like arcade person like close to me yet. They're in the 20s to 70s. So
Yeah, wait till I start my TikTok channel. Then
that would be awesome.
On my dopey YouTube channel, I got like a 100,000th of that. So.
Nice.
I tried YouTube and I wasn't good at it. Although in 2008 I was on YouTube and I was super popular, but people yelled at me because I was dressing up as Spider-Man, and then and people were just making fun of like bulges and things, and then I just couldn't do it. And I should have stuck with it.
So Proc says 1 million TikTok subscribers is like having the world's largest booger collection.
Yeah.
That is my goal, though.
But Proc, he's already done that. So now that he's got the world's largest booger collection, it's time to move on and get the subscribers.
Where are you storing the booger collection? That's the question. Like, is there a special freezer? Is it actually in your nose? Ugh. Frightening.
Oh my gosh.
Balls.
Dragon's Lair. Wait, no, Time Warp. Oh, the thing loops. I'm actually thinking, I know that we'll have to make you repeat your Dragon's Lair story, but I know somebody has another Dragon's Lair, and I'm thinking about getting a Space Ace to be dedicated next to it just because I like the artwork. Is that too weird to have basically the same cabinet?
These
Yeah.
These cabinets make my butt look fat.
What?
No, you can get whatever you want. It'll look good.
Is it weird to have two of the same cabinet?
Well, I mean, there's a Dexter, and it already plays Space Ace. But is that a wise move to get I feel like the dedicated Space Ace cabinet's really the one to look for.
I say, heck, why not?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you heard it here first.
I got a friend on Facebook who's got like 4 Taito Space Invaders machines next to each other. I'm like,
Man, I don't have any friends on Facebook.
I used to have 2 Tubins.
No,
there you go.
Wait a minute.
Remember that?
We did like a whole season. We talked about 2 tubins.
My 2 Tubins, yeah.
2 tubins. I have no tubins now.
We had we keep having the problem with, well, we had for a while, and having multiple Tempests. And are they Tempi?
Pimpai.
Like
Tempai.
Got a fly in here.
Tempestuses.
Yeah, I mean, how do you
How do you pronounce tempest plural? That is a good question. There's got to be an answer for that.
Tempest.
Tempests.
I'm going to go with tempai just because it sounds goofy. I like
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have 2 tempai.
You do?
Well, no, I just like saying it.
Right.
I actually have a Tempest, and then I have a Tempest and a.
I have 2 Star
one-up, I
Y?
think.
Wait. No.
Is Tempest in my 1-up? I can't remember.
There's this. Yeah.
Does it matter?
I heard 1-up is going down.
Where's
Yeah.
that?
Good, because then there'll be even more on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh my gosh.
There's one good thing about arcade 1-ups. It keeps the how do I describe this? It keeps people who multicade original machines out of the hobby.
Because they just
yeah.
multicade those
yeah.
things.
Well, because they're already multicaded, and you're just sort of like, why would I pay you $1,500 when I could just get this thing from Walmart?
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, that and poker machines, there's the choice.
I will say, we do have a couple guys on this show who have some 1-ups.
That's fine. I got some friends who own arcade 1-ups, but as for people
I
who
have
are
some
in
gay
console
friends.
collecting, who have Nintendo, NES, or Ataris or whatever, and they're like, ooh, I'm gonna go get an arcade machine.
Yeah.
You could just haul it over your shoulder and bring it home.
It is funny. Like Proctor said, people put hundreds of dollars into modding the 1-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Like they sit there and they buy this thing for like $500 and then spend $1,000 like fixing it up. It's like, just buy a cabinet.
That's true. That's a good point. I didn't know. Did they really like throw like thousands of dollars in the 1-ups?
So they'll get new artwork, new marquees, new buttons. I mean, because like the whole game is.
I don't mean to be peeing on your parade or anything, but we've gone over this a lot. We do actually have people listening right now that do have 1-ups.
Oh, well, we're not trying to say that they're totally idiots, but, I love the small one.
This horse has been beaten before. That's all I'm saying.
It's true. Well, not while Taylor's been here, so thought we would beat it a little.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
You shouldn't beat it in front of anybody.
Okay.
Hey, we got a bunch of chatters. Hey, thanks for joining. We're going to hit this button here pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. There's 17
Adam wants
people
to
that
move
have
on.
nothing better to do. This is
I'm
awesome.
sure we have other things we can talk about.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or anything like that.
No.
Be good.
I only have one feeling, and it's anger.
I only have one feeling, and it's in my forearm.
Mine's in my big toe, but
Yeah. Feel that.
Oh, crap, I lost the chat.
uh-oh. Well,
did
you
not
missed.
you didn't pop it out right?
You missed
It
Proc
was
saying
popped out,
just
and then
beat
I
it.
shrunk it. No, I can't find it.
Beat it.
There it is.
Yeah.
I found it again.
Oh wait, who is in the chat? If there's this many people, what's happening?
There's a bunch of people.
Look at that.
We're a legit show.
Huh.
Don't
It only
tell
took 7
anybody.
years.
And
Yeah, now we're gonna
cancel.
quit. So take that. This is we're past the hump too. I mean,
Maybe we're going to be like Larry David, where we come back, like we'll do like one season for fun.
Like
Oh.
Ozzy Osbourne, no more tours, no more tours 2, no more tours 6
Oh,
and
yeah.
7.
Well,
Yeah, we just Ozzy's bad. Kiss, poof, jeez.
Yeah, Kiss does it a lot.
I think about it
I wonder if
dance
Christmas is
now.
actually gonna keep going after this tour they do.
What about Elton John? I think he just finished. He said he just played his last song on concert.
Did he?
yeah. Well,
When he
He
starts
didn't-
wanting money again, he might continue.
I don't know.
Mm.
He said it's time to be retired.
I do feel like Ozzy needs to chill for a couple years. He just needs to take a break because
I think it's been 5 years.
has it?
Yeah, and he tried to do something in October, and he's already like, I can't do it. And I'm like, why not?
Well, he's actually got some
Neurological thing,
mental
right?
health issues right now.
Yeah.
Storing enough ants does that to you.
Oh.
So- Untreated syphilis.
Oops.
My goodness.
Sharon's.
That's pretty good. I've never heard you do an impression before, but that's pretty good.
Jack and Kelly, Amy, but you can't talk about her. So.
Water in the blender.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to interview Amy Osborne, the one that doesn't like to be popular. You know the.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We should do this show.
We should do it.
All right.
I'll
Let's
ask.
do it.
Let's
All right.
do it.
Do it.
Live from KOYR Studios.
This is Todd Rogers, the king of video games, and you're listening to Arcade Radio.
Let's live it.
Did you know that Chuck E. Cheese was born inside Atari?
Let's live it. God, I'm sick of that question.
No matter what I say, it draws controversy.
Get down.
Videomania has flipped the universe. So what's the score?
Roger, 0J, and I feel fine.
Is there anybody actually going to listen to this?
Thanks for listening in from the Arcadosphere. This is Season 7, Episode 18 of the Arcade Radio Podcast. Today is Thursday, June... No, it's not. It's July 13th, 2023, and the time is now approximately 7:32 p.m. Central. I'm your host, Ethan Adam Hunt. I'm joined by my co-host, Mark. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Shields and last and least, Paradise Arcade proprietor and part-time IMF employee, it's Bryan Armitage III. And tonight, at just 24 years old, he's already made waves in the collector community, and his impressive collection of rare bronze and gold age arcade games is growing. Joining us as we now reveal his passion for the hunt. Ladies and gentle nerds, a warm round of applause, please, for Mr. Tayllor Lucas. Welcome to the show.
All
How
right.
goes it?
You
All
did
right.
it.
So, what you've been working on, I guess I can start.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been talking about these games I sold. One of them is a Kitty Rama, and that actually did sell. So sorry, Proc, if you're listening. It's not for sale. But it was missing the coin plate, and that was one of the things I was gonna do is maybe fabricate a new one. But I got to thinking this thing has to be a commodity piece of hardware. Someone had to have made this thing because these Kitty Ramas are not like there's no genius to them. You know, the coin drops in there. There's a notch in the film. The coin drops in. The film starts. That's it. There's a little micro switch. Boom. The film starts. And then when it hits the notch, the film stops. Then you put another coin in and it does the whole thing. There's really nothing to it. So I took a picture of the original, and then I Google Lensed that stuff, and I added a couple of keywords like faceplate and coin, and boom, pops this almost identical faceplate with coin mech and microswitch already on it from a company called CleanRight, and it's a supplier for laundromat parts and car wash parts. So I ordered it up. It arrived. I installed it, and it looks exactly as it should, and it works. I dropped like 8 quarters through it to make sure it was functioning. So I don't have to fabricate anything. And Billy7, one of our previous listeners, who has the only Kitty Rama webpage on the internets, will be putting a link to the CleanRight part that I used. So if anyone else has a kitty Rama out there that's missing its coin plate and coin mechanism. You can get it all in one fell swoop from Clean Right. And there's my ad for Clean Right. So
Clean Right cleans you up.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how it goes. And so that was fun. I sent a video to the guy that's buying, and he's thrilled. And then, Bryan, in classic fashion, noticed that the rivets were slightly offset in different spots and insisted that it's not original and nobody will want it. And, you're muted, by the way, if you're talking.
Oh, there we go. and the return on the shroud was wrong, too. Don't forget that.
The return on the what now?
The shroud on the return coin, or the, whatever coin return thing was wrong, too.
The shroud?
Like
the
wrong,
little,
it's a hole. There's a square
there,
hole.
No, it's different. No, so the button you push is different between the two.
The button? That's not the shroud.
There's like a shroud around the button. That's different between the original and the new one.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, see? You got to pay attention.
Maybe it's just a modern version then.
I was fully tearing apart your dreams and all of these wonderful things you'd accomplished, and you didn't pay enough attention for me to completely decimate them.
Yeah.
Hey, who do you think said, we need a shroud here?
I don't really care what you say.
Oh, look at that.
So,
brotherly love.
In other news, my arcade has been unearthed in my house by about 2/3.
Heck yeah.
So I will have all these games going out. So I had to make room. I wanted to make sure we could move things in and out, and mostly out. And but last night, one of my high school friends stopped by with her daughter, who I haven't seen her daughter in, I want to say 6 or 7 years.
And she was the spitting image of you. Wait, no.
I don't think I'd go there. But she's 18, and she's super smart, and she's never been in a real arcade before. So, as you know, all of my games run off of tokens. So, yesterday, for the first time, she played a whole bunch of games with tokens. She played her first jukebox tune on my jukebox. She's never played a jukebox before. Can you believe that?
What was the tune?
What's that?
What did she pick?
I'm sorry. A little bit louder.
What was the tune?
Oh, okay. So she picked. It's funny because she picked a B-side, and it was. She picked The Cure. So Just Like Heaven was the A-side by The Cure.
Oh, okay.
And she
Nice.
on the B-side, there's a song called Breathe, which nobody has ever picked on that jukebox, ever. And so my friend Kathy and I were trying to guess what the song was, and we couldn't. We're like, what is this? There's no hook. It was just very ambient, and all of a sudden Robert comes in like a minute later into the song. But it was really cool because I don't think nobody has ever played that. It's a B-side that I don't hear very often, so I don't know it. So that was fun. But then she picked another song by Yes, if you can guess which one.
Let me guess. Owner of a Lonely Heart?
Yeah. It was Owner. Exactly, that was it. Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes.
I love that.
I love the B-side on that 45. Hold On.
Yeah, that's on there too.
Oh, that's such a good song.
But man, I can't believe you know that stuff. That's awesome. And so so she played that, and then Mark, you're gonna love this. We played Super Strike.
I love Super Strike. Oh man, my Super Strike's G07 flyback just exploded the other day. Did I tell you that?
Oh no, that's part of my story too. So in the Atari room, I go to fire up Missile Command, and poof, the magic smoke came out of my Missile Command. Also a G07.
China flyback or original?
No, it could be. I'm not sure. I ordered another flyback, and
man.
But it actually smells like the IC might have gone.
Oh no!
I've never I mean, Brian says he's never heard of that happening, and maybe it's not the case. I took the shroud off, and the IC looks okay. But there are also 2 suspect resistors in that. You know that section of the G07 that's super hot, just north of the IC or south of the IC, however you're looking at the board. But anyway,
I try not to touch my G07.
Oh my god, it's like they're charred on this one, so I'm gonna replace those 2.
I did hear recently Arcade Parts and Repair has a horizontal and vertical pot that you can buy and install for centering on a G07. Have you heard of that? Like instead of
I've
using
heard of that, yeah.
It's interesting.
Never tried it yet.
Is that in their Mega Cap Kit thing? Did they?
Yeah, apparently.
Because I just ordered that. I want to see how that turns out.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait till next week.
I actually had the China Fire flyback happen to me once.
Yeah.
I completely redid a Junior Pac-Man dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, this looks really nice. Great picture. And then I smell like fire coming from the game. And I'm like, what could be going wrong? Largest gash in the flyback, right where it says made in China. I'm like, come on.
Yep.
That's never happened to me before.
So it actually burned the flyback.
Yeah, like it's like somebody took a soldering iron and just went into it.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Mine sounded like a gunshot.
Well, I also pulled a Geos 7 chassis out of another monitor that I had from. Actually, it was from my Journey, the one that's all burned in, and I thought it was repaired, but it's not. It was totally caked in dust and grime, and I cleaned it all off, and also the horizontal width coil is broken on it, so I ordered one of those as well. So I got a lot of Geo 7 work to do.
So back to your Super Strike story. Did you win?
I did.
But
Brigid came dang close to getting on the board. I have so many scores on that thing that no one can score unless you beat. You have to score at least 211 to get on the board.
I need to replace the battery on mine. It doesn't remember crap. So
yeah, it actually has a non-standard battery size. So that was one of the first things I did on mine is put a standard CR 2032 adapter on there. But yeah.
Beautiful.
So it remembers all the scores, and she got so close. She was so frustrated that she played the game like 2 more times by herself to try to beat the bottom score. So it was a good time. But we made a couple of cocktails called a Brooklyn. Have you had a Brooklyn?
I've had a Manhattan.
Yeah, so it's like a Manhattan, but it's called a Brooklyn. And it's got slightly different ingredients. So instead of sweet vermouth, you use dry vermouth, and then you use a couple other liqueurs, and then rye or bourbon. So it's very similar, and it you use little orange zest at the end, and you still put one of those really good candied cherries in the bottom when you're done. So delicious. And we had pie and snacks and all kinds of stuff, and games were played, and Omega Race, Warlords, and
time was enjoyed.
Yeah, so that was good. And that was probably the longest I've ever gone on that. So, Mark or Brian, what have you been working on?
I just got my trailer fixed.
What happened? Did some thief break it or what?
No, the leaf springs busted.
Somebody stole it and drove it through an alley and broke the leaf springs.
No, I don't know how they broke, but they busted out. So luckily now we have new leaf springs. So that's all good. But we've been on this hold where trying to crank stuff through the shop, getting ready to bring stuff out to Evo. Got to get like 40 to 50 games out there. And we're trying to shift things between the garage condo, the shop, and everywhere else. And I can't do anything because we had no trailer for about a week. Found it when I was out in Wisconsin, looked underneath the back, and both sides, the springs were snapped in the back, and it was riding on the frame. So,
oh my God, the games must have been like,
Well, I don't know exactly when it happened, but I noticed it when I was just carting stuff around because we cleaned out the last remnants of Starcade from Rosedale Mall, and got that down, got that all taken care of. But it's been so now the shop is like packed wall to wall with games because we got a bunch of stuff back here. We were supposed to take stuff out. We were never able to get the stuff out of here, so came home tonight with the trailer, so hopefully in the next 2 days we'll be doing some major shifting here. We've got Prop Cycle and a couple other fun games to get out of here and out to other places.
That's cool.
So,
Mark, what you been working on?
Okay, so first of all, it's really hot in Texas. It's been over 100 every day. I have to water my plants twice or they'll die.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
I decided I wanted I haven't bought a neon in a long time, and so I went and found the Back to the Arcade neon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a Dodge neon.
No.
I know. Like, why do you need a neon, Mark?
No. Yeah, so I got that. That showed up. I was really worried though because it was not packed like I had remembered. Neons are typically like just stuck inside of a box, inside of another box, inside styrofoam, all sorts of fun stuff. This one was in one box, and it looked like little kids had just torn little pieces of insulation and just shoved it in. But anyway, it showed up. It's great. It's above the quantum right now. I'm pretty happy with that. There's an empty space in my bathroom, and I've been wanting to put a mini Blockbuster in there. So I went and created a Adobe Illustrator template for traditional Blockbuster videotapes. I'm actually going kind of viral on Twitter after posting about this. People are like, please share it and stuff. Well, I also bought 100 clamshells, so I still have 96 that don't have anything in them.
So when you go viral on Twitter, do you get like 10 people liking your stuff now?
It's a few thousand. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan, but I turn notifications off. But this is the only, I don't know if you can read it, but this is for Mission Impossible. So I, tried to copy Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie, see if they'll be into it, stuff like that.
Apparently they're coming out with a new Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, I think it started yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to be checking that out this Saturday.
It's part 1 of 2.
Part 1 of 2, incredible. Yeah, so then, so that's been fun. I'll be done. I actually, there's this seller I found that was selling a Blockbuster, illuminated sign, and I ordered it like 2 weeks ago, and then I never got like a tracking number or anything, and I started to like get a little suspicious about it, and I Googled the images that he was using, and I found an Etsy store he had stolen the images from, so I was being scammed. But luckily, I called, PayPal gave me my money back immediately. I talked to the guy that runs the store in Hong Kong that's running on Etsy. I sent him a message. He called me back and talked to me and said, that's definitely a scammer. Those are my images. Those are like from some of the pictures from like user feedback were used on this thing. And he gave me a discount code, which is awesome. So I ordered it. And so that's kind of fun. So that's going to be there. I can't wait to put that in the bathroom. I'm going to call it the Mini Blockbuster. I was going to call it Mini Buttbuster, but my wife said no. My powder coating for Star Trek is finally done. They called me today, and so that's exciting. I'm going to get my vents, and then a few other parts. Nice. One of which is an Owl's Eye Atari coin door that was just so rusted. I bought it from Jason Kopp, and it looked like it had been like in the bottom of a pool for like a year.
Yours didn't have a coin door?
I just bought this coin door from Jason. He was having an auction once, and I was like, I want it. And I never thought that $50 would be how much I paid because I thought somebody would outbid me, but I want it, so that's cool. And then that's about it. My last thing is on TikTok, doing pretty good. Everybody check it out, Spacetime Junction. I posted a home hack video, and then I went to the working with artists section, and I worked with some artists, and they had some music, and then it got 70,000 views, and it's pretty awesome. So
very cool.
And that's it. That's all I've been working on. Taylor, what have you been working on?
I've been working on cleaning out the garage.
Oh, right.
Just getting it ready to go. I got a... This is funny, but I got a 77 Mustang that I need to get the transmission put back in, get that going. It's been a long time in the making.
Do
That'll be fun once I get that done.
Do you drive? Can you drive a manual, or do you prefer automatic?
It's an automatic, but I can do manual.
And what car did you learn to drive manual on?
Volkswagen Bus.
What?
All right.
Too.
Nice.
That's pretty 70s.
Can you drive? Anybody else? Brian, Adam, can you drive a manual?
I learned to drive on a.
Oh wait, no wait. There's an instance before that. My grandpa's old truck was a manual.
Was it on the steering wheel?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We had when I was learning to drive, we had a 4-speed Caravan Dodge with a 4 on the floor, and that's what I learned on. My first car was a stick.
This is the first car I've owned that wasn't a stick.
Oh wow! What?
Yeah. Everything up until 6 years ago.
Crazy.
Wow, that's awesome. See, I wonder if that tells you something. Like, if you drive manual, you're gonna love arcade games.
I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that don't know how to drive manuals. Well, I guess
I remember I dated a girl just because she could drive a manual once.
Can you drive a stick, baby?
It was not a good gauge. What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's you got to find someone who can drive a stick. That's all I'm saying.
That's
immediate plus.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's go to the next segment of the show.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Oh, let's do it.
I always felt that the true stars at Atari was engineering.
So, you're an inventor?
Yes, I am.
What have you invented?
A lot of things.
Like?
Like a lot of things. Like things that you've heard of.
Like?
Well, things that you will have heard of, okay? Patents are pending.
Arcade Gadgets with Bryan the Clown.
Welcome to the Gadget segment. We're going to make it really quick today because it's a very slow week.
Oh.
I'm hearing an echo now. Really, the only thing going on from Gadgets from that I've seen that's been advertised is the vector protector that Jason is doing, which I think we talked about briefly. It was launched on June 24th, a couple weeks ago. But this is basically protects your monitor and your vector game if your board goes down from burning. So if you are interested, what?
What's the concept? What is it? I mean,
so the whole premise is that the theory is that in some XY games, if your game board malfunctions, it can send a signal to your board that causes damage to the monitor. And if you want to see a very interesting argument of like why this matters or doesn't matter, you can go to KLOV. And there's actually a fair number of people who basically have said this is a waste of time. It's an interesting kind of conversation. Andrew B jumped in, who has a few opinions. Love some of the opinions there, but it is worth checking out. And it's an interesting product. So the whole premise is that if the game board goes down, sends a signal over that's going to damage the monitor, this would interrupt that signal and turn it off. I've not seen that on any of the vector games that we have or we run. And, we run anywhere from 8 to 15 vectors at Starcade all the time. Then I've got a number at the house. But theoretically, this can happen. So if you're concerned about this and interested in this, go check it out. If you're just interested in the drama over on KLOV, which can always be fun, go check that out. And getting back to actually you guys were talking about the flybacks. Those are on rasters. We get a large number of flybacks that have sides blown out or other things, cracks, arcing to chassis, all that kind of stuff, whether they're Chinese or originals. So it all depends on the monitors. So, but anyways, go check this out. And then the other thing that came out of this chat, if you look there, we are going to be finishing off the mystery cans. Somebody asked Jason about it. He had revived an old thread of mine, and we will be doing the Amplifone mystery cans in the not too distant future.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So.
Sweet.
Yep. So that's it for now. That's all I've got for Gadget. There was like a boring week. I couldn't find anything else.
Well, I have a gadget that's sort of it's a continuation from a news article we did. But I went out with some friends on Monday, and I hit down in the valley, and I go in there frequently. And so the buyer knows me, and he comes up to me and he says, "These are yours, Adam." I'm like, "What?" "These are for you. You're the guy that has to buy these." I said, "Well, I'm not gonna buy these. These are like $35 a piece." He says, "Yeah, but you get a discount. It'll be like $34 a piece." And so, anyway, he made me buy them.
Gun to the head.
So, here we go.
Oh!
Down in the valley. This is one of the greatest record stores. It was opened in 1972, so it's a very good year. But I was just going to open up and share with you guys, so here we go. All right, so these are called Fabulous Jackpot Records, and it is 2 records of pinball stuff.
Oh, wow.
Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
So Medieval Madness, Funhouse, Fishtails.
Bonsai Run.
Which I think I just played Fishtails at Starcade. Is that at Starcade? I don't know.
Does that song go like, Fishtails, duh?
Yes, it is there.
Yeah, I played that. It's actually kind of fun.
Oh, that's DuckTales.
Arabian Nights, Attack from Mars, Pinbot, Black Knight 2000.
Which is awesome soundtrack.
Yeah, so, I mean, so that's the other one here. And they come on a special colored vinyl, and they have a special hologram Williams licensed thing. So these are officially licensed. But I thought, let's open one up and take a look at the vinyl. Here we go. Should play the unboxing thing for this. People love that.
All I have is a show and tell turntable. I don't think I would play it on that.
So this is the one with Attack from Mars on it. But it's orange vinyl.
Oh yeah, nice.
And the other one's green.
That's nice looking.
So I'm gonna give those a spin tonight. Yeah. So how's that for a last minute gadget?
That's pretty awesome.
Very cool.
We should jump into some news, huh?
The news.
The news. Is there any? I don't know. Let's check it out. Oh, that's a different show. Check it out. Have you guys seen that show?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
I just watched Office Ladies. That's it.
It's pretty old, but you should check it out. Get it? Check it out.
Oh, hence the name.
Oh my god.
John C. Reilly is the star. It's pretty funny. Yeah, it is. It's pretty funny. It's not really super funny, but it's pretty funny.
The arcade news, arcades, pinball, industry and unknown, arcade openings, selecting celebrities, world record holders, operators, coin-out, conventions. The arcade news.
We interrupt the ventilated
And now, the arcade news with Adam Stevens.
That's me. Welcome back to the news.
Finally.
Yeah. What's that?
I'm excited.
Oh. From GameSpot, Lunar Lander Beyond is the next reimagining of an Atari classic. So, Atari continues to open a vault of modern developers as the company has announced its next classic game to get the remake treatment, Lunar Lander Beyond, which is a full reimagining of the 1979 arcade classic Lunar Lander. And I love all these so far. I told everybody last week I've been playing Gravatar. But what, they
is
just
it Gravatar Beyond or just Gravatar?
It's Gravatar Reloaded, I think.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah, they're mostly reloaded. There is a Yar's Revenge Reloaded and a Yar's Revenge Remixed. Which is
it like Tempest 2000?
It's in that vein, and actually the same studio that's done the Tempest 2000 did Tempest 4000, which is out now, which is very frenetic. It's way more. It's actually, I think, almost too hard. There's so much going on, but still fun.
Yeah.
What's that?
It'd be funny to imagine like Lunar Lander in the style of Tempest 2000. That'd be weird.
Yeah, well, all of them are different, right? So Gravatar, you fly around, land on planets, blow up stuff, and leave the planet. So that concept remains on the new one, you know. So it doesn't make it any more frenetic, but it is different, and yet still addicting. So I'm still playing that. And I'm still playing, you know, Puzzle Bobble versus Space Invaders all the time. So Lunar Lander Beyond puts the player in the role of the captain of the fictional Pegasus Corporation, which leads expeditions through space, which is completely different than what Lunar Lander was conceptually when it came out. Because basically you were just flying like an Apollo mission. The captain will lead the crew, explorers, advisors, and landers through multiple challenges, including resource collection and rescue missions, all through the original Lunar Lander's precise landing-based gameplay. So, I love gravity games, so I'm super looking forward to this. I love the original Lunar Lander. I bought the kit for my Asteroids Deluxe, so I play it on there. I love it. So Atari's tapped indie studios Dreams unincorporated. Is it uncorporated or unincorporated? To lead development of the game. And it will be the studio's first game since the critically acclaimed RPG Chris Tales, which I don't know. Do you guys know that?
I have never heard that.
Which was also a debut game launched in 2021.
Chris Tales, Oh wait, no.
Yeah, but you've done a great job of tying in the Disney afternoon cartoons today.
Thank you.
You have to be careful when you say this from joeblow.com. Because when you first read it, you think it says job, and then you read it again, and you're like,
job low.
Yeah. The Venom pinball machine was teased by Stern Pinball, and actually we could have reported on this too because I got an email about this from Stern, and so I clicked on it, and sure enough, there it is. There's the Venom pinball, which I don't really care about, but hey, you know, it's coming out.
Cool.
They make fun pinball machines. Play it. I would never buy a Venom pinball machine. I buy a Spider-Man one, but
I want Stranger Things so bad.
Yeah, but that's already been out, right?
I know, but
it's been out for a hot minute.
But if you could pick a new theme, would you pick Venom from all of the Marvel stuff that you could pick from? Would you pick Venom?
I guess which Venom is it? Is it going to be a Tobey Maguire Venom, or is it going to be cartoon specific, like comics specifically, or
it's comic,
or the new movies? You know?
Why would they do Tobey Maguire? Oh, there is a movie coming out. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, it's probably it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I don't know. I'm just like, they're having, it's like, you know, I always imagine since we talk to these guys and they have these brainstorming sessions, and I'm sure Stern has these meetings where they're like, well, what should we do for our next, you know, what's coming out? What's hot, you know?
Well, you know, that article talks about other hyped pinball projects and how are Jaws and Back to the Future also in their pipeline. That would be great, right? I would love a Jaws.
You see, now that is a property that I would be interested in, and Back to the Future. There already's been a Back to the Future pin, right, though?
Yeah, it's okay.
Is that Data East? I can't remember.
It is, yes.
I think so.
All right.
It's all right.
So from Traxion.com, arcade racing classics, pole position, and or just classic pole position is now playable on the PlayStation and Switch. So thanks to emulation, you don't need to dust off your old hardware. Oh, that's so bullshit. Like, yes, you do need to dust off your old hardware, and it has to be the original because you're not gonna playing pole position on a controller is just BS.
Is there a steering wheel on the controller now that I just didn't know about? Because
and we've talked about this on the show before too, but the best implementation of pole position outside of pole position is that little handheld you could buy that's like a Miss Pac-Man theme thing. It's got the twisty joystick on the top.
Oh yeah.
So you could twist it to steer, and that works brilliant. That's like one of the best implementations ever in a handheld console / arcade portable device for home, and I love it. It's great. But anyway, this is talks about pole position, who it was developed by, obviously Namco, and then Atari put it out, and they made a second one. So for those who didn't grow up in a time before TikTok, pole position originally hit arcades in 1982. It was a massive hit, becoming one of the most influential racing games of all time, and paving the way for modern F1 racers, and many other racing games. So it may seem primitive now, but pole position helped shape the modern racing game. So before pole position, most arcade racers were played from a top-down perspective, i.e. Sega's
Monte Carlo.
Monaco GP. And was Monte Carlo also? Yeah, of course. And, I mean, like, games like Crash and, Dodge 'em were all top-down, So anyway.
It was Speed Freak. That was unique.
Yeah, but pole position was the first game to implement first-person racing in a way that was desirable to play. Because prior to that, I think it was Turbo by Sega, which is sort of the sequel to Monaco GP. And Turbo is a very frustrating game because there's a lot of stuff that you run into because the perspective's weird and you dip through hills and stuff and cars disappear.
Now you're on a curve.
It's like you're on LSD, but you're racing
at
the same time.
The hitboxes are weird too. I don't know. It's cool. I mean, it's cool from a historical perspective. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I think notably pole position was also the first game to feature a real racing circuit track with a recreation of Japan's Fuji. And then, of course, in pole position too, you get to choose a whole bunch of other tracks as well. So that's nice. Fun. Yeah, so that's the news. Should we do
right.
Let's go to the Cade. Let's go back to the Cade. All right, here we go.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Back to the Cade with
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Hey everybody, welcome to Back to the Cade. Our first portion of our segment is where I talk about something that has to do with Back to the Future.
Yeah.
That's right. So, as you all know, Back to the Future opened on Broadway this week, or actually a couple weeks ago. I did not get to go because I had a bunch of people that I work with all take vacations, and I was going to be like, this, I'll stay here and cover you guys, no big deal, whatever. I also had somebody that had a wedding in Europe, and I kind of didn't want to go, but whatever, and I had to do this. Anyway, so long story short, it opened on Broadway, and it turns out they're flocking to the Winter Garden Theater to see it. It began previews June 30th. It's already an Olivier winner with its 2021 West End premiere. It joined the $1 Million Club in its first week of previews, despite only giving 4 performances. That is a pretty good take on the box office. Last week, the show offered 6 performances and continued to prove itself one of Broadway's newest box office successes, bringing in $1.2 million. It's funny, it almost says $1.21 million, but they made just a little bit too much. It's $1.22 million. That total placed the show in the top 10 highest grossing productions of the week, and that is with 2 less performances than most other Broadway shows. And for those novices out there, productions usually are about 8 performances a week. While we don't know what the musical's advance sales look like, all roads point to it being one of the newest top grossers. It will play its first 8 performances next week. I'm excited. I've seen it. I saw it 3 years ago. 2 weeks before COVID hit and shut down everything. Yes, so good. It is a great show.
1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah. So that's our Back to the Future news. And then we slide into the second half of our segment where we ask everyone in an open... Yeah! All right. Welcome to the Season 7 edition of What's in the Juke. It's the game within a game within a podcast. Today, we feature badass isolated 80s music clips, vocals only. If you guess the name of the group, you will get...
Half point.
Correct. If you can guess the song's title, you will get...
Half point.
If you can guess both...
Full point.
Whoa! Brian will be your scorekeeper, so feel free to... No, wait. Brian will be your scorekeeper, so feel free to throw compliments in his direction.
Full point.
Yes, last but not least, if you don't know either, please fight it out. Fight! Hit him in the face! And now that the fighting is over, let's begin. Yes.
Okay, here comes your first track.
I got a message on the radio.
Oh man, that sound is good. That sound is beauty. I love it. Let's play that again.
I got a message on the radio.
I don't even know this song.
It's good.
I mean, I love the band. You can tell the band, right?
Yes.
It is not Yes, but you're close.
Oh, dang it. I shouldn't have said Yes. But luckily, Yes is not one of the 10 bands we're doing tonight.
All right. It is Yellow. Crinwing with a half point.
Half point.
Nice work.
All right, Crinwing.
What's your favorite ELO song? Mine's Time.
I think Mr. Blue, whatever.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Sky, yeah.
That's a good track.
I relate to Evil Woman.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Super Tramp. Nobody's guessing. Are we stuck?
I think the song may have been in the Xanadu soundtrack.
Okay, time to get the kooky clock going here. I think we're gonna have a fail. All right, that song was All Over the World by ELO, and I think you're right. It was on the Xanadu soundtrack. Okay, here comes your next track.
All I need is a pint today if I ever get out of here. If we ever get out of here.
Band on the Run.
Oh, Taylor on the board.
Now, we do have to warn you, Taylor. You have an advantage. You are 5 seconds to 10 seconds.
No, there's no delay.
Ahead of the chatters, so.
Oh, my bad.
That's all right.
No, it's okay.
I think I like it.
We do like people to, if you're feeling it, you gotta guess it. There we go. But it's impressive. There we go. Half point for Taylor. Point. Oh, did you get the band?
Mr. Peabody got the band.
All right.
Half point.
Band on the Run. Okay.
It's a good song.
Actually, Proc got it. Don't give Proc points.
Proc got it. Say that 10 times fast.
Proc got it.
Proc got it. Proc got it. Proc got it. Proc got it. Swing Proc got it. Okay. Here comes your next track.
I was talking with a friend of mine. Said a woman that hurt his pride.
Oh, I love that song. Actually, it's one of the few songs by this guy I like.
Don't do me like that. I don't know if that's the name of the song.
Half point.
It's close.
It is.
It's close.
It's close
Brock
enough.
gets Tom Petty, and he got the Don't Treat Me Like That.
Oh,
all
nice.
Right. Well, this is weird.
What do you got?
Proc got Don't Treat Me Like That?
I actually don't see anybody typing treat.
Yeah, but...
I could have sworn I read it wrong.
That's okay. I think Grinwing gets a half point for that, though. If we're going to go with Don't Do Me Like That.
Half point.
Because he was just ahead of Brock.
It's like
I have no problem taking points away from Proc.
Yeah. All right, here comes your next track. Oh my god, this is like my favorite song by this band ever. And the vocals are amazeballs. Here we go.
Half my life's in books, written pages.
Aerosmith, Dream On.
Live and learn from fools and from sages.
It didn't even end, man. I love it.
I think my favorite Aerosmith song is probably Uncle Salty.
Ah, that's a good one too.
That's on the Toys in the Attic album.
Yeah. I'm a little partial to Walk This Way and
Oh yeah, 100%.
especially
Every song on that album's good.
Yeah. Well, by the wrinkle stick, that's funny.
Ah, he's nice.
I always thought it'd be fun to have Steven Tyler and like Mick Jagger on stage. All you would see was lips. They've never been on stage together, I don't think.
Is that true? I don't know.
No. They should have to like present a Grammy Award together.
Or yeah, I'll see if I can arrange that.
Okay. Yeah, so there's some points there.
Point.
Some fighting. Okay, here we go.
Cry, woman, crying shame.
Gee, I wonder what that song is. Certainly it can't be Evil Woman.
Oh boy.
By ELO.
Half point.
Oh boy.
Full point.
Was that planned?
No.
What?
Did I just get lucky?
I don't know. What?
It was not planned.
Okay.
I mean, I did not know specific songs you know. I just thought of some stuff that you might like.
Yeah. This next track I don't like, but... And is this actually a 70s track coming up here? I don't think it is.
It's the part I picked is...
Okay, here comes your next track. Wait, did the chatters get their stuff? Or are we just going on because we already had it named?
We gave Taylor the point.
All right,
Full
here we
point.
go. Next track.
What did her daddy do?
Also, I want to give somebody else the point. I'm sorry.
You just stole it from Proc. It's no big deal.
I just want to see what happens.
Well, we
see Mike Page got Aerosmith.
Yep, Mike Page with Aerosmith.
And then Mr. Peabody with Janie's Got a Gun.
Half point.
When was that song released?
1986, Permanent Vacation, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's an old... I mean, that's a way later track. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But done in the traditional Aerosmith style. So...
Yeah.
Sure.
I could see that being on an earlier album.
I can't.
Sure, it's got Steven Tyler as vocals. Yeah.
But I mean, Permanent Vacation was like every kid had that record in junior high. So I don't know. It wasn't really 70s. Okay, here you go.
Mother's tired, she needs a rest. The kids are playing up downstairs. Sister's sighing in her sleep.
Yep.
Madness, Our House in the Middle
Oh my
of
God.
Full point.
Yeah, we should have told him he can't play.
We should make Taylor type the name.
Yeah, you gotta type it out. You're not getting any points unless you type it now.
You have to use Skype chat.
We gotta give some points to our chatters. They're playing hard here. That's a half point.
I didn't know that the chat people were playing. That's fine.
It's
Let's give everybody who just answered Madness a whole point just for fun.
This is madness.
I can't believe Doc Mack held back because you could see in his face he knew all the songs we played for him.
Oh yeah,
we did just a pure Led Zeppelin for him because
hell yeah.
But also he was more interested in watching to see who won. That was
right, yeah.
That was his deal. So he's like, no, I'm gonna sit back and watch everybody else because he knew all the songs forwards and backwards. Yeah. Not like you, Taylor. This is awesome. Okay, here comes another one.
Reaching out for something to hold, looking for a love where the climate is cold.
You know, That guy's
great
voice,
vocalist.
so awesome.
I saw them in concert.
Me too.
Last year, so good. Yeah, probably the same tour. Who opened for them for you?
Tears for Fears.
All Oats.
So lucky.
And Tears for Fears was
Metropolis. I'll give that to you.
The Squeeze did mine.
And Mr. Peabody with another half point.
Nice.
4 out of touch.
Good work. Yeah, I want to play that again. That's such a good one.
Reaching out for something to hold.
That's also a late 80s hit of theirs.
Yeah.
So, Mark doesn't know what 70s songs
I just wanted... they're a 70s band that just kept going.
They are. A lot of 70s bands kind of fizzled out on the brink of 1980. Like, I've never heard much of anything from Steve Miller past Abracadabra, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but in 81, right?
So many
Or
bands
82.
like that.
It's weird. It's like they hit... There was like a disco barrier in the 80s. And
Yeah.
they couldn't get past that.
Couldn't get past the new wave barrier.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes your next
One to
track.
do it.
Foot on the red line.
Wow.
That's a good song.
That's definitely 70s.
Heck yeah.
Might be 79, but it's 70s.
Police. With Take.
Police.
Steve.
Way to go, Steve.
And we'll give him the Roxanne. I'll give that as a error in typing. So
Yeah,
Steve Take, the full point.
C in the X.
Eddie Murphy was singing that song in 48 hours.
Oh, yeah.
In prison.
Yep, that's true.
Yep.
Man,
I went to... In high school, in marching band, there was a girl named Roxanne.
Wow.
She had a really
Did she put on the red light?
No. Every time my buddy Steve would sing that, she would walk the other direction. So
I gotta say, Taylor, either your parents raised you right, or you were just like, man, you wanted to know everything about this era because you're remembering things better than I am.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
Reincarnated, maybe. Who knows?
You could be my son. Which then you would know all this shit anyway.
Oh, right.
I would be teaching you the ways of the Force.
We only got one left.
Oh, we have one track left. Okay, here we go.
That's right.
A big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place.
That's pretty great.
Oh man,
I want a half point, so I'll just go ahead and say, "We will rock you." Sorry.
Half point.
Nice.
Oh, he got it, and Take got the other half point.
Right.
Half point.
There we go.
Wow.
Final score. Taylor wins with 4 points.
Yeah.
Take in second place with 1.5. Grinwing.
I feel bad.
Mr. Peabody and he who shall not be named tie for third place with 1 point.
So let me get this straight. Steve Take, who's probably never won first place, just took second place to our guest.
Way to go. And Steve just lives down the street from me. And I see Metropolis in the honorable mention, fourth place.
I love it.
Steve's a really cool dude. He actually sold me a game that kind of was on my want list, more like a fantasy list for a long time.
What game is that?
R2D Tank.
R2D
Oh, wow.
Tank, nice.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, he's a hero.
I need to visit Steve more often.
Well, that wraps up this segment, right?
You did it! Congratulations, everybody. A pat on the back and a hearty hi-ho.
All right. It's time to check the voicemail. Okay. Do we have voicemail?
Do we have real voicemails? Or...
I don't know. Should I check to see if we have a real voicemail? I haven't done that in a while.
If you don't... I don't even know what the freaking phone number is. 612-548-GAME. That's 612-548-4263.
What in the heck is this? Oh, yeah. Somebody got on ChatGPT a few weeks ago and started sending us texts, which was hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we mention the camera has been on Mark for a while?
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah,
This
it's
never
well because
happens.
it's his segment and I forgot to switch it back, so I guess
I am usually only on for like 2 minutes.
well, you're on for like 10 this time, so
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
you're welcome. we figure you're the star. You're the TikToker.
I love it.
Yeah. Here's a text message we got. I hope you're ready for some robotic humor because I've got a joke just for you. Why did the robot go on a diet?
Why?
Because it had too many bites. Ha 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 ha.
Oh man, that's
cheesy. Awful. Is what that
Why
is.
did the cookie go to the hospital?
Why?
I hope that brought a smile to your face. If you need more,
I'm
more.
waiting.
He was feeling crummy. So bad.
That's a pretty bad one.
That was a good one. I mean, bad one, but good. Good. Nice.
That was a terrible text message. I don't think I'm going to read text messages anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
After that one, that was pretty bad. I like this. I enjoy listening to the suspected spam voicemails, though.
I miss when you would read the transcription of voicemails. That was fun.
Here's one. Portions of this podcast, mainly voicemail, were pre-recorded in the state of Kansas in the United States of America. Missouri to pick up the next sign in the cornfield. So I'm in Kansas, get to be about halfway through the trip, kind of feeling like there's no place like home. So there's all for now. Have a great show. Thanks, bye.
Was that a Billy 7 voicemail?
That's an April 12 one. Yeah, so yeah, I believe so.
Classic.
And that's a transcription. They're getting better at the transcriptions now, so not as funny.
Right.
They're funnier when they were like terribly.
When they didn't know anything. Yeah. Now the AI is like, that's not a real sentence.
Right.
Dang it! Shut up.
RcadeRadio. What the heck is that?
Oh.
All right, let's check this out.
Thank you for calling 612-548-GAME. This is RcadeRadio. Please leave your message after the tone.
Good morning, Mr. Zarsadek. Your mission,
Bob,
should you decide to accept it, is to
make an RcadeRadio phone call.
As always, should you or any of your IM force be caught or killed, the Secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions. This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck,
Bob. Hey everybody, it's your buddy, Bob Zarsadek, control panel expert and technician. Hey, I don't know if you overheard, but I just got a job. Yeah, on LinkedIn. Yeah, some guy sends me these exploding cassette tapes, then I have to go do whatever he says. I mean, they've made me do some crazy stuff. Like earlier this month, they made me take a little clear packet of Splenda and leave it in a visitor locker at the White House. I'm still not sure what that was all about, but, I just assume, someone loves coffee but hates sugar. Anyway, yeah, that one played pretty good, so no complaints there. Hey, so what's going on with you guys? Hey, I hear you got that famous Tayllor Lucas on the show. Man, he was awesome in those Twilight movies. The werewolves, they're so super cool, man. I hope I get to be one day. Like a bucket list thing, right? Yeah. You guys got a bucket list? I'm looking for a Home Depot bucket right now, but I recently acquired a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket from the 80s, so I'm super stoked. Hey, why are they always saying bucket lists are hard? They're super easy. Okay, well, before I bore you anymore, I'm just going to go hang up and listen in. And hey, I'm still waiting for my 999,900 something YouTube subscribers to show up. What's the deal? Don't be shy. Come on, Arcade Radio chatters. Click that button. All right. You guys, thanks for taking my call once again. Zarsadek out.
Boy, that guy. Never a dull moment.
So wait a minute. He left something in a locker at the White. Isn't that?
I don't know, but I wouldn't have recorded that or said it on the air and repeated it.
Well, I think that the way that it happened, where he thought it was Splenda, makes it completely okay.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Plus, it was a Mission Impossible situation, so he had to do it.
We've been banned for less. I just want you to say. I just want to tell you, we've been banned for less than that.
No,
Yeah.
we've not.
Yeah. It is a federal offense to,
We get banned for garage band samples.
Yeah, that's true.
You're streaming via Facebook, right? Or what are you guys streaming via?
Twitch.
Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, that explains it.
Twitch.tv. No, well, we haven't been banned from Twitch yet.
Oh, wow.
We were banned from YouTube.
YouTube, but it took 3 years. Like one day they were like,
Yeah,
what
They
did
just
you
felt
do
like
3
hitting
years?
a button.
Yeah, they were like 3 years ago, you fucked up.
Right. Oh, that's such a. And you know who's one of the biggest proponent for he's got a team of people that all week long all they do is flag people's stuff.
Oh.
For clips.
Oh, that's got to be fun.
Don Henley has a team of 60
like super fans
guys that sit on computers 6 days a week and all they do is flag Eagles content.
That sucks.
Yeah. For like 9 seconds of use.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's BS. That's not you got a real problem if you don't want to let people promote your
Don
music.
Henley went crazy.
Yeah. They're going to be in town here for their long goodbye or whatever.
When is that?
I don't know, but the tickets went on sale today, actually.
Okay.
$250 per ticket.
Yeah. That's Taylor Swift territory.
Isn't Aerosmith's like 600?
Oh my God! What?
Steely
It's
Dan
bad.
is opening
It's something
for
bad. Can't do that.
I was just gonna say Steely Dan is opening for them. So
How much are their tickets? How much is
I love
Steely
them.
Dan's tickets?
$250. It's the same as the Eagles ticket because they're
So-
opening for the Eagles.
It's a double.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
can't think of the word. Double header.
I think we should do some interviews. And
Yeah,
stuff.
we have questions that we.
Let's welcome Taylor to the show.
hello.
Hey, it's good to have
How
you
goes it?
aboard today. Mark, why don't you kick out? This is going to be a great question.
Yeah. So don't laugh when I.
I'm already laughing because I
So-
hate this question.
Well, I mean, it had to have happened earlier because you are kind of a youth now, but as a youth, like in junior high-ish, what were the circumstances when you first became hooked on arcade games?
Everyone was like, "What are you doing with these refrigerators in your house?"
Oh wait! That's jumping the gun. Well, how did you get interested?
How did they get there? Yeah.
How'd you
How did
get
they get-
interested in
Dude,
that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had an internet connection back when I was a toddler, it would have It would have been a lot sooner. I'm telling you what. Of course, when I was young, we didn't have arcades. It was like this. It was the stagnation period. You didn't have anything. You wanted arcades, you got Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
And there was a couple instances where I was like 5 years old and I had to go there for some kid's birthday party. I didn't do anything. I played the one pinball machine. What was it called? The Simpsons Pinball Party. That's all I played. So really, I couldn't explain to you why I have a fascination with arcade games.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. So
Maybe Matt's right. Maybe I'm reincarnated or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
you
don't
don't know exactly when it happened, but when did you have your first opportunity to buy a game?
2015.
2015.
I was going to get a repair part for an Atari at like a Home Depot because I was going to build one of those screw adapters and sell it. And some dude's like, "Hey, I got a Stratovox cocktail," and I'm like, "Can I have that?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll be $200. Just meet me down at my house." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Wow.
And then the plague started.
All right.
So that was like 8-9 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
First
No.
game with digital voice.
Do you still have the Stratovox cocktail?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah. There's not been very many games that I've sold. I've traded a few. Just recently, I traded a Berserk for a Mousetrap and a Defender from Cameron. I thought that was a good deal, so yeah, I went with it. I was looking for a Bronze Age game. Really, any trade worked, so I just went with that one.
Mousetrap's a good, get.
Yeah.
especially if it's working. I mean, if you can get the dog woofing woof to be if it's running, that's great.
Mine works. Woof woof.
Everything seems to work, but the board pulses, so there's activity from the crystals, but there's just zero happening on the board. So I think it's a video board issue. So we'll see.
I think I have a spare mousetrap board set.
It is an intriguing game. Mine, I think, is outputting width is too wide, and you can't see it. You can't adjust the monitor for it. It's very strange.
Luckily, the monitor's fine in mine. G07, so it probably won't be that way for very long.
So
they do just fine.
It'll just explode once, but
no.
Exploder.
Throw the 10,000-hour caps in them. They're good.
So I'm assuming that because you started sort of recently, that there's no time where you stopped playing arcade games for any like gap.
I mean, I've been fiddling around in MAME since like 2007. So
Yeah.
I mean, I was there for the whole atomulation, dice, discrete logic emulator thing when he was doing that. So I mean, I've always been interested in it for as long as I can remember. So yeah.
All right. So follow-up question to that: when did you start collecting? How many games do you have in your collection right now?
It's bad. It's pretty bad. It's like 70.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You me and Brian are laughing at you right now, so that's cool.
We're
Nice.
laughing
That's
with
great.
you.
I'm glad that I know. You're making me sound like I'm not crazy. I appreciate
70
that.
is a complete honorable mention. Good job. You've done great.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Yeah, usually I'm the low man on the totem pole, but you know.
What? Hey, wait, Brian, do you even know how many games you have? Do you keep up with apps?
It's like 300, right?
It's somewhere between 300 and 350 right now.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where. I lost track recently because I picked up a couple from Adam that I got to get, a couple from Eric Bose, and then a couple from. I've been on a little buying streak again, and then dumped a few.
I see.
Who did I get the Megatac from? There was a Megatac that was being sold at the Minneapolis arcade garage sale.
That was me.
I got that working.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. That game was one that I bought. I bought it at Midwest Gaming Classic, and I just couldn't figure out what to do with it or where to put it. And it was one of those ones. It's a great game. It's a fun game. It's in great shape, but it was like one of those ones where I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. So you get to a point where it's like, yeah, but
Game
awesome.
Plan's one of my favorite companies. So
they've got some really cool stuff. I have one of the factory conversion Chaos.
There you go.
Well, it's converted from Chaos to Pot of Gold.
Yeah.
It still has the build tag inside of it.
That's awesome.
So
a neat one.
Clean Sweep behind you, is that game plan? Clean Sweep behind you, is that game plan?
That's from Ramtech. Ramtech's another one of my favorite companies.
Oh yeah.
I was before the show started. I was saying Clean Sweep. That is not a claw machine. I like it.
Actually, I got one Tayllor would probably like.
That's true. There are Clean Sweep claw machines.
Right. I guess I should like finesse the search criteria.
You got a ping pong, don't you? Or is that Paul?
Paul does, but here's a board that I should send you. You can have some fun with. You got a tugboat.
Hey,
I have 4 of those.
I don't know what to do with it. It's been sitting there for like 2 years.
Send it to Tayllor.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a game? What game have you been? I guess I'll ask this one first. What game are you have like the craziest story about buying, picking up, finding, whatever it is?
There's a few of those. You posted what were the 3? Enigma 2, Block, and then Road Race in the thumbnail?
Oh, in your ad for today.
Enigma 2 isn't that interesting of a pickup. I just bought it in that auction. I paid way more than I expected, but Block is a hilarious mistake that I made that I love. And Road Race is pretty impressive. Instead of working, I was on break, and I just decided to check Marketplace, and I kept scrolling down because I had it was still on break, I promise. And suddenly, video game, $200, picture of road race, and I'm like, where is this? St. Louis. It's about 7 hours away. Forget it. I'm picking that up. I don't care. That's mine now.
So that was a crazy pickup for you.
I talked to the woman who owned it. The nicest person you could meet over Marketplace, and we made a deal to go pick it up that weekend. That was awesome.
Nice.
Very nice.
So have you had any ones where you had like a super big problem, like you went there and it was...
Yeah, that's Block.
Okay.
So back in 2019, I got into this. I got into buying arcade machines from Japan. Boards, actually. It wasn't arcade machines, because when you buy an arcade machine from Japan, you got to own a sports team because the shipping is going to kill you. So I bought a cocktail from Japan, and I guess there was an integer underflow or overflow on their website, because I paid literally $2,500, or not 2,500, geez, 2,500 yen, so $25 to ship a cocktail to my doorstep. I'm
what?
Like, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that's normal, right? That's normal, I promise. Well, I went and bought an upright, and Buy's like, hey, your package arrived. You can either pay for this, or we can just destroy it for you. And yeah, and the price was, yeah, they'll destroy packages for you. You don't get to send them back to the original seller. No, they literally destroy them. So the reason I'm telling you that I had these two options was because the shipping price was $3,200.
Oh my God!
I could have bought a Quantum.
Yeah.
Back when Quantum was $3,200, I didn't.
Now,
I had to save it. There was no other way. I mean, I didn't want to see this thing trashed. I know it's Breakout in a shell, but like,
you know, that's such a good story. I think we should start a GoFundMe for you.
Yes.
No, that's fine.
I mean I
appreciate I appreciate it, but
okay. So now you also have taken the title of paid way too much for a game away from me.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one though. It's a good story.
Yeah.
Mark, you had another question?
Sure. Have you had an incident where you've got one of those where it got away from you, like the one that got away?
Yeah. Coin Up Warehouse bought a tail gunner, upright. Okay. I was gonna buy it for $500. They got to it before I did one day. Pissed me off.
Who got it?
Coin Up Warehouse.
Coin Up Warehouse. Oh. They sold all their stock.
But now he's gone, right? He stopped. Now his kid's doing it.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, that pissed me off.
He got that from the movie theater, right? What's his name?
Yeah, that's I got the head on from there. I was going there to get the head on, and he mentioned tail gunner, and I'm like, dude, yes, $500 for a tail gunner? Yes, please.
Yes.
So I own that tail gunner now.
What?
Oh, well, I'm glad it's in good hands.
It's part of the. I don't know if you saw the vector row that I put. Actually, I think it's the image on Vector Collectors. Let me see.
Is that the one that is that the one that Alan is pictured next to in his profile picture? Or is that different?
No. So on the Vector Collector group, there's my vector row in the basement of the Boxing Bugs, Aztarak, Warrior. So tail gunners in that row.
I'm glad it went to someone who cares for it as much as I do.
Yeah, it's well loved. Actually, the last one I've got to swap out on that row is Ripoff, because I got the Cosmic Chasm to put down there. So it'll be in good company.
First time I played that game was at Grinkers, and I really would love to get my hands on one. It's an amazing game.
Oh yeah.
There is a cockpit local here.
For sale?
Oh yeah, the Tail Gunner 2 cockpit. I saw that.
Oh yeah.
Is it for sale?
There is one for sale.
Does anyone have a Vector Beam Scramble?
Huh.
I don't. I haven't seen a Vector Beam Scramble in person.
I've seen parts for it around the internet. I'm like, okay.
The only person I know who has one of those is Van, I believe, has
That's
one.
what I thought. Yeah.
So I don't think even Jeff has had one of those. But the
Willard,
Tail
Jeff
Gunner
Willard?
What's that?
Sorry, Jeff Willard? Is that the...
No, Jeff Anderson. Arcade.
I'm sorry, Tail Gunner 2, you were saying?
No, there's one for sale. It's not advertised. It's up here. So if anybody's got $2,500 and wants one, hit me up. That's what they're asking.
All right, my next question is 70 games, stream of consciousness. Just or if you want to open your VAPs, you can.
Okay.
But
it's there.
Let's
type in
run
Dilly
down the
VAPs.
list. I want to hear from you. What games you got?
What?
Like
what kind of games I have that are weird?
No, just let's just start rifling off your 70 games. I want to hear some titles.
Oh, okay. And let me look it up.
See, I got to go look at my VAPs too. I'm like, wow.
My VAPs is so far out of date.
My XD Crash is the only one missing on my VAPs. Do you have an XD Crash?
I've had the chance to buy a couple, but they were never close to me. So, I mean, I have a Targ.
Oh,
I love
nice.
that.
Mr. Peabody asked if you have Exterminator.
Oh, that's my favorite game.
Weird.
Yeah. Wait, you don't like roof machines? Machines with roofs on them? Heck yeah, dude. Okay, let's see.
The only machine
Astro
that I have that has a
Fighter.
roof is leaving very soon.
Nice. I'm going to be honest. Exterminator's weird. I don't know. It's not my thing. But let's see. So we
Wrong
got
era.
Avenger by Electra. I need to build a new cabinet for that. I got that from David Dimmers. Bazooka. That's a fun one.
That's a good game.
It's one of those games where it's an awesome cabinet and an awesome concept, but PSE really doesn't know how to manufacture quality, so all the boards are just dead all the time.
All right, here we go. Rapid fire. Let's just go down the list. I want to hear what you got.
Okay, let's see. Borderline, Sega Gremlin, Challenger, Centauri, Schizo by Meadows, Enigma 2 now, just needs a board. Intruder, Invader's Revenge, Jump Bug, Lost Tomb, M4, Meadows Lanes, you can see that. I'm not naming them all. I'm just naming the notable ones. Moon War, Stern, Mega Attack, NATO Defense, Pacific Novelty, Ozma Wars, SNK. Let's see. Blitz by Circo Inc., Paddle Battle mod from Cincinnati. That's a really weird one. Pulsar, R2D Tank, Ripoff, Road Race. I'm building that. That's a Sasuke versus Commander. I just need a board for it. Sea Wolf Secret Base by Sega. Titronic Space Invaders Upright. Space Trek Sega. Spiders Ventureline. Stratovox Super
There's
Breakout.
a picture of your spiders on your Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
That's a nice cabinet.
It's super nice. I actually traded 5 project games. Some of them were projects, some of them were fully working, but that trade was fantastic.
That's
You
cool.
ever heard of Monster Zero?
I've not. Describe it.
That's an interesting game. I take a lot of time to talk about though.
Okay.
10 Spot, Time Pilot, Tranquilizer Gun, building that, deconversion, TV Basketball Midway, Uniwars, IREM, Upright. I'm excited to have that. Warp 1. So there we go. There's a few.
Wow.
I found you. Dillweed. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I keep
used to know
missing
this
out
really
on.
cute girl. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I keep missing out on spiders. That's the one that eludes me.
Yeah, I've like every time I see that, I'm like, how do I have that?
Steve, maybe you already answered this, but Steve Taki asked, "What game has eluded you like to date? Like, which one are you trying to get right now that you haven't been able to get?"
Tora game plan.
Okay. Any particular reason why?
One sold on eBay for $32 frickin' dollars.
$32.
And I just didn't look at. Yeah, I did. I just didn't look at eBay that day. $32.
I hate when that happens.
It's so bad.
Why did they pick that number?
Well,
I don't know, but it was an auction.
Yeah.
Oh my
and the
God.
guy listed it. He listed it as a pinball machine.
Oh.
Nobody on Vaps is listed as an owner of Tora at all.
Well, there's been some out there. It's like the going rate for a Tora is like $1,000.
Oh yeah.
I'll pay that. I'll pay that for sure.
I find I get depressed looking at eBay for stuff because no matter what it is, like the last time I really went on looking for something was a Space Harrier control panel, and one had sold like 3 days prior for $100 complete. It's like,
yep.
Yeah, when I go back through the sold listings on eBay, it hurts a little bit. That's okay.
You need like some kind of thing where like while your coffee's brewing, you look at eBay and check your search. Do you drink coffee in the morning, Brian? Can I help you with a pattern that can help you? Brian's being silent. Okay, never mind.
What? No. Do I drink coffee in the morning? I drink coffee all day.
All day.
That's not a morning drink. That's a mid-afternoon drink, an evening drink, morning drink.
Come to think of it, Taylor, what is your morning ritual when you wake up?
Let's see. I wake up, my body cracks a little bit, and then I go drink some tea.
Okay.
So what is the game right now that you play the most?
Let's see. I've been playing a lot of Challenger, actually. A lot of Challenger. One game that's really easy for me to get into is Mega Attack. Weird, because I'm mentioning games that are on the same hardware. Whatever catches my eye, it's like different every day. Like I just played Spiders yesterday. Jump Bug, that's an easy one to get into.
Yeah, Jump Bug's fun. That's a fun game.
Jump Bug is a great time.
There was another arcade podcast that talked ad nauseum about Jump Bug, if I recall.
Was there really?
Yeah.
Was it
John Jacob Jiegelheimer Schmidt?
Hey, did you ever listen to Arcade Outsiders?
Me?
Yeah.
I've listened to a few podcasts. A lot from Arcade Outsiders, a lot from Broken Token.
Oh, Broken Token. Yeah.
I work a lot, so whenever I can find time for something, usually I turn something like that on, turn on music whenever I'm repairing a board or doing something. That was the thing with I was going to repair it, kind of did, but it's a little jittery. It's weird. I was going to repair this board for Brian. It was an Astro Invaders because he was looking for one. Tony Fink got in contact with me and said, hey, he's looking for a board. I'm like, I think I can make that work. And it took me like 3 weeks to repair it because work was just slamming the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that overlapped with when we went to CEO. So I never got back to you on it.
Oh, you're good. It's no problem.
Wait a minute. So are we making a deal here? You still want that board, Brian?
I've got a nice Astro Invader cabinet sitting.
Oh, okay.
25 feet that way.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll go test that board.
Is that the cocktail?
No, upright.
It's an upright.
Okay.
It's a really nice upright.
Sweet.
It's in good shape. It's in really good shape. So, although it is kind of funny because we are at a point where I gotta figure out what to do with games because we downsized Starcade, so it's like it's like sudden influx of 20 games. You're like,
Yeah.
Oops.
See, I'd probably have more than 70 if I had the space. I'm maxed out.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, it's funny because you get these projects and it's really hard to say no. Once you start working on them, it's like, okay, so I've got this Astro Invader. I got to find the board, but why am I doing this? I don't know, because I have it.
We got a question in the chat. It's sort of related to the other stuff, but I Lift 1971 says, what are some of the grails you're looking for currently, or do you have a short list of Dreamcades? I like that one. I like Dreamcades better than grails.
See this?
No. Okay, yeah, wait, let's zoom in on that. All right. We do? Yep.
Oh.
This is an SNK game that I really want. It's called Yosaku. I have the control panel to it, but I don't have anything else. There was an auction on the Japanese website, Yahoo Auctions. I put $5,000 down on the board, and I did not win it.
Oh my God!
It's not dumped either.
Oh, that's
$5,000.
If you were to win it, would you dump it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, nice.
I've been dumping games. There's I got 20 contributions.
Who got it? Do you know?
Showtime. Yeah.
Who's that? Showtime?
RcadeRadio. He runs a company called RcadeRadio. Over in Japan. He lives over in Japan. He's a U.S. citizen that lives over there, but he's got probably what I would guess largest collection of
a myriad
of arcade boards, probably out of anybody. I mean, if you look at his thing is Showtime, it's SHOUTIME. But yeah, he's got a really impressive collection of boards.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question for you. Is there a bit of game that you were really wanted to get and you got it and you're just like, nope, I don't want it? Like you obtained it and it wasn't everything you had hoped it would be. Has that ever happened, or did you pretty much ever love everything?
See, I'm thinking because usually I don't buy games unless I know what I want. And I know that sounds like an asshole thing to say, but I think...
Well, it's interesting you say that because 70 games at your age, it seems to me like you're just buying whatever comes up at $200, which for me...
I'm not. Trust me, I'm not.
So that's awesome.
I mean, clean sweep back here.
Yeah, I love that. But so that's... You're curating your collection, and I think that's the way you should do it. Like you shouldn't just be buying stuff for the sake of buying it.
Don't get me wrong, I love Berserk.
Yeah,
I freaking love Berserk. Berserk is awesome, but I wanted to see what else I could get. And I'm going to be honest. Cameron paid about as much for his Mousetrap and Defender, about as much as I paid for my Berserk. I got lucky; it was a barn find. $200. Wow. Guy also had a Donkey Kong 3, but some other person picked that up, unfortunately. But I just wanted to see what else I could get, and maybe that's the one. I don't know. If I want another Berserk, I can find one.
Well, I'm a fan
all the
of
games I've sold or
I'm a fan of Popeye. It's a fun game. But I bought one and it doesn't get played in my arcade. Now, I know there's other people that like Popeye, and mine's restored. It looks really, really nice. But that's one that I had to let go. And it's sort of like you love Berserk, right? I love Popeye, but sometimes you have to make sacrifices for things that you want to bring in. So for instance, I don't have a lot of space in my basement, but I want to bring in a Mario Brothers wide body because I know everybody's going to play the shit out of that. The 2-player games in my house get the most play out of any of or 4-player, right? So anything where you can participate with another human being, that's the key. I think Nolan Bushnell, when he was on our show, mentioned that too, or I might have brought it up before there was a long pause where I didn't come back. But his opinion has always been that as well. Like arcades, the physical buildings, back in the 80s, the 70s and 80s were a place for people to gather and socialize and play games together. And when it became more about the individual, I think there's something lost there. And I think even though I don't like them as much, the 90s fighting game scene sort of brought that element back of competition and playing with a friend or against somebody who's in the arcade. And I think that's always a lot of fun. So like Warlords and Super Strike Bowling and Atari Football, Mario Brothers, Joust, all those games are always getting played in my arcade.
That's awesome.
But Popeye, not so much. So
it's interesting too. One of the things that I think is really fun about the fighting community is that they not only it's a couple of people playing, but they actually sit there and teach each other constantly. It's kind of fun to watch them like, oh, hey, you got me like this. Let me show you how to do this. And it's a neat environment. But there's definitely a focus now in bars or arcades on 4-player games. That's, look at Pac-Man Battle Royale, right?
Yeah, that's
take a single-player game, make it a 4-player game.
Yep. Which, by the way, you can get on the Switch now, and you can play with 4 players. It's in one of the Pac-Man collections. I can't remember which one. Pac-Man Museum, I think. So,
if there's any game that you would have to say is the worst game you've played, Taylor, what is it?
Is this only for arcade games, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's one I got rid of. Matrix.
Oh, Matrix, yeah.
Matrix. What were they thinking? Well, Williams is a great company, but I don't know about that license. I actually did try it again with the speed up kit. A little bit better. Actually fair. It was actually a fair game when I had the speed up kit.
Speed up kit.
So, I wanted to go back to your comment, Brian, about fighting game communities, because we might have talked about this on the show a while back. But in 2015, there was a documentary called The Lost Arcade. It's directed by Kurt Vincent, and essentially it's a documentary about the influence of the Chinatown Fair Arcade and the fighting game community that utilized that arcade for decades to do exactly what you're talking about. So they bring their own controllers, they sit down, they have competitions, and they teach each other how to play. Yep. And it's one of the coolest communities that I have underappreciated for years. Often when I have my arcade parties, so I might not have the largest collection, but I have a pretty good curated collection of games I like. And one of the things that I did for my home arcade was made it feel like, I try to make it feel as much like a real arcade as possible. So there's neon everywhere. I've got a giant, 3.5 foot in diameter Adams Arcade and Bar neon. I've got other custom neons around. I've got a coin machine, and everything runs on tokens.
You have a bar?
And the jukebox in the bar, right? So it's designed to make you feel like you're in a 1980s arcade. And if you've never dropped a coin into a machine before, I want you to have that experience, because I think that's one of the most romantic things about arcades in the 70s and 80s is just this exchange of entertainment for your quarter. So I just, I might not have the largest collection, but I really, really want that feeling. And so when people come over, it's interesting because, and this happens pretty much, I think, with all of us in the classic arcade game community, is people they gravitate towards your home arcade or Starcade or any of those places, but it ends up being just the venue for the conversation. They're the background noise. They're the subject matter that gets you started on your socialization, your socializing, having fun, being with friends and stuff. But with the fighting game community, it's just like that, except for I think there's almost like an elevated, element to it with sharing tips and tricks and how do you do this, and what's the latest and greatest arcade stick, and where do I buy this, and look at all these customizations and check this out. I mean, like there's just so much. So I don't know. I have a lot more respect for fighting game community because as a result of being connected to, Bryan and other folks in the community who love that stuff. But for a long time, I had disdain for it because, in the eyes of a lot of classic collectors, the 90s games came in and ruined what we perceived as an arcade. You know?
Yeah. Now, I'm going to be honest, what you said about, largest and best, I think there's something to be said for your collection and what it means to you versus the largest. Like, let's say, what's that guy down in Texas who has the warehouse?
Is it Mark Shields?
5 million games.
That's not me.
The best is just subjective. It's what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You could have 500 Midway Space Invaders. Is it the best? It's the largest. And I'm kind of rocking the granny wallpaper right now. But when you said you want it to look like an arcade, yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want to put up some wood paneling and where's the mother frickin' Newports at? Let's go.
Yeah.
Get that smell in the air. I don't know, not that, but the wood paneling. I really want that for my game room. I want the wood paneling. I kind of want, I got a big square clock. I'm gonna put that on the wall. Do a little bit of neon. I got some actual like concert stage lights, different colors of stage lights that they'd use in concert venues from the 80s. The Goodwill had them, and I'm just like, one day I walked into Goodwill, they had like a bunch of like stage lights, old heat bulb stage lights. I'm like $15 a piece. I'm like, yes, yeah, give me these, heck yeah. So right now that's why I'm working in the garage so that I can make my arcade.
Yeah, and I've to that end, I've also got like a disco ball and spotlights all over.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super fun, and it's just part of the ambience. But like, I love the idea of doing like wood grain on your walls and that sort of thing. I have a question related to that. So you're a fan of the 70s. We picked. Mark curated a list of classic hits for you tonight. So what is it about the 70s that you think that you're romanticizing about it? What makes you drawn to that era?
The freedom.
Oh. It's like a 2-word answer, but it's pretty succinct.
The freedom.
Yeah, and I mean, because
the style is also, of course there's the style. It kind of comes with the decade, but if I had to say the biggest thing, it's the freedom.
Some of the reasons why I like the 70s are because that's when singer-songwriters were still very, very prominent. The 80s sort of changed that. I mean, they were still around, and they less so today, right? But like in the 70s, everybody was writing their own stuff. There were very few that were not writing their own stuff. And there were no auto-tuning. There was no synthesizers. It was all like the raw instruments.
There were synthesizers, but we're talking about sure. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was like the late 70s, right?
Although, honestly, Helen Reddy pretty much sang songs other people wrote. But
sure.
I'm
just saying, the majority.
Linda Ronstadt did that.
Yes, yeah. Oh, Linda.
I mean, Linda wrote her own stuff too, but she wrote.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it was a mix. But the point being that was sort of the pinnacle of singer-songwriter rock and roll. So that's one of the reasons I like the 70s. Also, as a kid that grew up in the 70s, I think there's a certain nostalgia that, like, even in my memories, I see sepia tone and earth tones. Like, I know that the world was in color, but it all sort of has a gold-brown hue to it. Shag carpet, we had that. We had PU leather chairs that were just, terrible to sit in. You'd get so hot. You'd rather sit on the floor. We had dials on our televisions. And that's another thing, too.
A clicker.
Yeah. And the technology was different, like cassettes and 8-tracks but all that stuff was very tangible. Now I can talk to my what's-her-head and have her play anything I want.
And order creamed corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 gallons.
That's part of the problem is convenience.
But I think there's like a, and I call it a romantic element, but it's like that tangibility. And this goes back, like if you watch Star Trek, all the people on Star Trek read real books. There isn't a single character that they've written who does not read a real book. And that's because the writers all realize that's how they like to read. You know, they don't want to read it on a pad or a Kindle or whatever. Although I do like my Kindle, you know. So I don't know. There's just something about it. It's a good decade to be a fan of.
And
I think it was too technologically advanced. Everyone was their own person. You had to go outside to get what you want. You couldn't order fast food from Uber and just chill in your house for 24/7.
Right.
You went outside. You enjoyed life.
You could do Domino's though, but
you could
go to
Domino's.
arcades. Yeah.
But you can't do that for IGA or any other grocery store.
I'm gonna let Brian say what because then I'm after you, Brian.
Well, I was just gonna say I will clarify a little bit though, because Moog synthesizer started in '64. I had to look that up.
No, that is crazy.
I wasn't gonna mention anything about the synthesizer thing because I didn't want to seem like a big fat nerd.
No,
but,
and we had Suzanne Chani on the show. I'm aware of the decades that synthesizers came about, but they really came into their own in the 70s. That was and you could go I have records of synth music from the late 60s and it's not great. It's just hours and hours of weird sounds, but I like it.
So there's an album by John Murtaugh and Herbie Hancock called Blues Current.
Yeah.
Current. It's a big synth album from early 1970. Began in '69, and it's really goofy. I'm gonna be honest. It's weird, but it's music.
They're just experimenting. Yeah.
Hey, those just to circle back for a second, the two guys that you were thinking of at the big warehouse, or at least I have two that I think one of them is the one you were thinking of. Corey Hayden, who does Free Play Arcade, or Joel Malone, who does Cidercade. Were those one of the two guys?
I might have been talking to Adam about this. I can't remember, but it was the guy who kind of went and hid. He disappeared. He doesn't talk very much.
Oh, interesting.
He's got like. Was I talking to you about this, Adam, or was this?
I don't remember. I don't think
he's got a devilfish.
No, wasn't me.
Okay, he's got a devilfish. He's got all these weird games that no one's ever heard of, and he's just letting holes get in his building, and they're falling apart, and he doesn't care because he's got infinite money, but he's not going to sell them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. This guy I know that lives in the middle of a field. He's very frustrating because he has land that's floodable, basically.
Is he the one that had that 4-player hat trick?
Yes.
I can't believe I lost out on that to Steve Barbie. But I have, I was going to say, I also have a Devilfish board set around here somewhere.
Nice.
I just came into the next door.
God, Steve Barbie, that reminds me. There is one game other than Yosaku that I want.
What?
Gremlin Fortress. He's got only one. That was in a Timeout arcade, or not? It was. Well, it was in Timeout, but it was also in Station Break.
Which you've never stepped inside of, but
that's
awesome.
The one.
Have you been? Are there any old vintage arcades that you were able to find that you could check out, like before they?
I was gonna say they're all H&R Block or an O'Reilly.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can step in them, but.
You've been to Galloping Ghost?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I spent like 3 hours playing Tranquilizer Gun.
Nice. I did that at home last weekend.
What?
Oh, we're talking about a game. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was drinking wine, so it's just. Yeah. Wow.
So There was a question in the chat. If you could build a custom prototype game that maybe only a few existed, what would it be?
Let me think about that. Does Cube Quest count? I know it's not a prototype, but
yeah, that's
there's only 12 of them that got sold, right? Monster Zero is the prototype, or I think as well. I mean, it was licensed by Nichibutsu, I heard, and it was field tested, but it just kind of flopped. So I mean, there's that one, but I'm already building that, so I guess I wouldn't count that one. Vertigo. Vertigo.
Oh. Nice.
Yes.
That's a good one. Dang, I want to ask, because I own one. I just want your opinion. Nintendo Hellifier.
I have one of those.
Oh, do you?
Did I not mention that one? It's a cocktail.
Okay.
A cocktail.
It's not right.
Man, Nichibutsu had some good games too, and a lot of them didn't make it here.
Moonraker.
Yeah, that has on the flyer. It has Star Trek art, basically.
Yeah, that's what this marquee over here is. It says Mooncrest. It's a bootleg from Italy, but it uses the Moonraker style. So I just nabbed it.
That's cool.
Nice.
I love weird marquees and control panel.
Cool.
Especially
overlays.
from weird country. I mean, not that Italy's weird, but
yeah,
they got some bootlegs. They're different.
Yeah, they do. I love bootleg stuff. It's awesome. All right, Mark. Brian, last questions.
Do I have any? Let me think.
Do you need a devilfish?
Do I need a devilfish? Yes.
Do you need a? Go ahead.
So I do have a devilfish board set here somewhere. Oh no, wait. Oh wait, I do have a devilfish. I also have a Devil's Zone.
Devil's Zone's cool. I like Universal stuff. If I got a devilfish, I'd have to find like an Arctic cabinet because I'm not going to find a Glack devilfish anywhere.
I picked up a devilfish installed into a Zarzon cabinet.
That's interesting.
It was very weird. And I would have to find... I don't know where the board is now. The Zarzon is gone.
Oh, I remember a weird story. Speaking of Zarzon and SNK games. I used to work as a console tech. And it was a retail store. So, I mean, I helped out with the cashier. My second job. And I was helping some dude out. And he was not an arcade guy. He did not own any games, but he played them back in 1982 in Indianapolis, and 1981 and all the golden years. And we started talking about arcade games, and he mentioned a game that blew me out of the water, Sasuke versus Commander, the game that only came out in Japan. He said he played it, and it was in English in an Indianapolis arcade. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, there's no information to support this whatsoever.
Yeah.
But clearly, you're not lying to me. You're not an arcade guy. You're just talking about the game that you loved playing in an arcade.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whoa. So I found a lasso cabinet that was converted to a poker game. I'm trying to convert it to a Sasuke versus Commander now.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Blew my mind.
It's funny, some of the stuff. I mean, we think about, nowadays you have kind of this global market of things that move around, but it was pretty amazing back then, just the random little things that would pop up in different places. Every now and then you'll find cabinets that somehow got over from Japan, got over from Europe. I mean, it's kind of neat, fun to see.
Like that computer Othello that was in Chicago so many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think one of the things that's really cool about you is you have this breadth of knowledge that, between Mark and Brian, I'm the dumb guy in the room, so I'm always amazed when I meet somebody who's like yourself, who has this all this knowledge about games that I barely know anything about. So I learned a lot tonight just listening to you. I'd love to hang out and shoot the shit. But we should connect once in a while. And if I find anything that I think you might be interested, I will reach out to you. But definitely you have wowed us tonight. I think it was really fun
Thank you.
having you on the show. Could you do me a favor? We're gonna do an outro here. Stick with us.
For sure.
We like to go
off the hug at the very end.
Yeah. It'll seem like we hung up, but we want you to stick with us.
Sure.
So with that, you guys don't have any other questions, right? You're good. You're good to go.
I'm good. Anybody want to buy a Seawolf? Anyway, okay, yeah. So.
Seawolf. Does anyone want to buy a really nice APB? Because I've got a restored one I'm going to sell with the chair. So.
If only it didn't have the chair.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the chair is the downside.
I would have been all over that, but I don't.
Speaking of which, I pulled the upholstery that I put on that thing on like 8 years ago, and I put the real material on it, so it looks like.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So it's a beautiful machine. I need room for stuff, you know. Anyhow, I want to thank everybody for listening in the chat tonight. This has been the double R's. That's Arcade Radio.
Check out our website, RcadeRadio.com. That is RCADE Radio.com for all of our social media and swag links.
Call and leave comments just like Bobby Z at 612-548-GAME. That's 4263.
Subscribe to our Twitch channel to follow us and click on the notification bell.
Which doesn't exist.
Yeah, I guess it's a heart now or something. Right?
Yeah, and all you got to do is follow us to keep up. You don't have to subscribe.
Yeah, just follow.
Because the subscribing costs money.
You'll know when we stream live. Yeah,
Sure.
Don't give us money. We don't need that.
Nobody wants any money.
No.
If you like what you're hearing, consider dropping us a 5-star review on Spotify, iTunes, Spotify, formerly known as Anchor, or wherever you consume our podcast.
That's going to be it for tonight. From Arcade Radio, we hope you had a blast, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Why do we get flagged for this?
Because of that sample right there.
I'm going to find that guy and kick his butt.
They were Russian.
Hello?
What? Did you say something?
We did it.
We did it?
Made it.